Welcome to News Generation. As usual, let's start with a bit of inspiration, shall we? Be a voice, not an echo. Originality is key, so ensure that you add a bit to whatever you do. Coming up in this week's edition, First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo sends a message to educational institutions as the Research School celebrates its 60th anniversary. Plus, Ghana intends to allocate 1% of its GDP towards research and development. We'll find out what that means. And the Ghana Education Service raises concerns about the outpouring of unregistered schools in the country. We'll hear from a representative. All this and more we have lined up for you. I'm Faustina Safo. Do stay.
Lonely Mr. also has a problem with his radio. My big brother always stealing my cowbell coconut milk power cable. Check. Second one, check. Hanger, cowbell, mag, check. Radio, check.
More flavors are better than one. Cowbell is fortified with protein, mineral, vitamin A, C, D, E, and K to help you complete the mission. Cowbell comes in coconut, strawberry, choco malt, and Mr. Owusu's favorite, mocha. There's something for everyone.
Mission accomplished.
Welcome back. Remember, you can be part of our online family. Find us on Facebook at News Generation GH and on Twitter at NewsGenGH. Now to our first story. First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo has charged private educational institutions to constantly improve upon their methods of teaching. This, she believes, will help schools churn out students who are better equipped to thrive in the job market. The First Lady was speaking at the 60th anniversary of the Research School here in Accra. Teamed 6 decades of Christian education, thanks be to God, founders, old and current students, as well as teachers, convened at the premises of the Research School to celebrate the success chalked 60 years on. Special guest of honor First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo charged educational institutions to emulate the school's excellence, which is evident in the success attained by its past students.
Today, the Research School is 60 years. And I wish to say ayeko to the church for doing a wonderful job of raising outstanding citizens of our dear country. It is true to say that just like their predecessors, present and future generations of pupils of the school will look back and trace their success in life to the discipline and values acquired in this school. Let me share a secret with you. I've always been an admirer of people and institutions who constantly improve on their performance. From single-story units, the school now boasts of a number of buildings with multiple floors. The school currently runs a complete basic education and JS program and plans to run a senior high school. This is the mark of leaders with vision. Throughout the years, God has remained the focus of the training given to the pupils of this noble school. May the Almighty God bless Accra Research and especially its members who came together to establish the Research School to train children for God and country.
Deputy CEO of Maslock, who is an old student, was filled with excitement as she watched her daughter graduate from the junior high school level. As an alumni, she recalled some memories.
In the course of the event, 2 teachers were going out today. That's Mr. Kodo and Mr. Nyaku. One of them that really made an impact on our lives is Mr. Kodo. He had a very long nail. And you know, in Research, back in the days, you dare not touch a child. You have ways to punish kids, but not to beat them. And Mr. Kodo would not come and beat you, but with his long fingernails, just give you a pinch. And mostly with those who are not attentive in class. And I was the type that was always fidgeting in class. So I think in a week I could get about 2-3 pinches from Mr. Kodo. And seeing him today teach my first daughter and going out after so many years in Research, 27 years in Research, makes me happy, and I thank God he could impact that same knowledge to my daughter.
Some deserving pupils and past students received awards for excelling in various subjects of study. We spoke to some of the awardees.
They shared awards. I received 7 of them in math, science, English, RME, ICT, yes, and many others. I was so excited to receive the prizes, and I'm very grateful to God. I know that the results are a product of a lot of hard work, and I want to advise all students and children out there that if you want to succeed in life, you need only hard work and dedication, and commit all your efforts into God's hands, and He will surely reward you.
I won the best behaved prize for my class and a perfect award. I would like to advise all the young people watching me right now that you should take your lessons and your studies very seriously, and that it will really help you in the future.
I got a prize, a subject prize in pre-technical skills, and I was so excited. My mom was also excited. I hope this will be an inspiration to all children across the world to also try and do well in school and make their parents proud.
For News Generation, Faustina Safo. In a related development, a legal practitioner at the office of the president, Cole Isuman, says Ghana needs more innovators to get to the next stage in its economic development. He was speaking at the Speech and Prize Giving Day graduation ceremony at the Morning Star School in Accra. Mr. Isuman explained without new inventions, the country would just be reinventing the wheels. Sreya Itiamo was at the event and has more in this report.
The event, characterized with cultural displays, choreographies, music performances by both the school choir and orchestra group, entertained parents and school management. Guest speaker, Cole Isuman, also an alumnus of the school, encouraged graduates to be creative and emulate skills of youth who have attained successes despite the challenges they faced. He also tasked teachers and parents to encourage students in their creativity.
In developing the brains of our children, there are 2 things that I would like to touch on: be innovative and creative. The word innovate means to make changes in something established, especially by introducing new methods, ideas, or products. The fascinating thing about innovation is the ability to think, and not only think, but also think critically. The innovator has an open mind, looks at his or her environment, and thinks of how things can be changed or made better. The innovator asks critical questions and does not necessarily accept the status quo. Africa needs many innovators because when we look around us today, we see problems and challenges. We need innovators to think of, suggest, and introduce new methods and ideas and products that will help us solve these problems and move us towards creating a modern society for our people. This requires a new set of skills to meet this challenge. It requires creativity and innovation. It requires critical thinking and solution-oriented criticisms. Ghana needs innovators to get to the next stage in its economic development. Teachers and parents need to be accommodating of students that come up with new ideas and methods. And students should be encouraged to think critically. Students ask questions, research, make mistakes, learn from them, think and see outside the box. That is how an innovative mind works.
Integrity, according to Mr. Isuman, must not be shelved in the quest for educating the nation's great resource, her children.
To you, the pupils and students, integrity means not cheating in examinations, being honest with your classmates, friends, teachers, and parents. It also means you cannot copy from your friends or from a source that is not allowed. You can, however, ask for help when it is permitted. To the parents, integrity means being honest by the way you conduct your business and life. Your children learn from you, so you must set a good example. You cannot have children with integrity if their parents do not exhibit such values. To the teachers, integrity means being honest to your students, to their parents, to the management of the school. The students also learn from you, and so you must set a good example. To the leadership and management, integrity means being honest to the students, to the parents, and to the teachers. It also means staying true to the morals and values you have set out in the vision of this institution and are seeking to instill in these children. And finally, to us all, integrity means not cutting corners in an unauthorized way. Keeping your integrity intact. Great men and women have fallen simply because they lack integrity.
The event was climaxed with an award ceremony and induction of new prefects.
Interesting there. Moving on, government says it intends to make science and development one of its core pillars towards development. In line with this, the Minister of Environment, Science and Technology and Innovation, Professor Kwabena Frimpong-Boateng, says Ghana intends to allocate 1% of its GDP towards research and development and also build a research center to put up centers and technology centers across the country. There's more in this report.
IPA is a landmark initiative of the African Innovation Foundation with a goal to strengthen African innovation ecosystem. This is done through innovation and competition. Since its establishment, the foundation has awarded many African innovators. The minister, speaking at this year's event, said the study of science and technology in Ghana needs a push, thus the GDP aid.
My ministry is implementing cabinet directives in many areas. One, to establish a Presidential Advisory Council on Science, Technology and Innovation. Two, we are drafting an STI bill to establish a national science, technology and innovation policy. We are also setting up an STI fund to finance research and development. Our president has promised to put science and technology at the center of his government. And he's going to devote 1% of GDP towards research and development.
Some Ghanaian innovators present spoke to Joy News.
3D printer it's like similar to the normal printers we have at home in our offices that print with paper. But this time it molds three-dimensional things that you can hold. So for example, if you want to print a gear, it can print it out for you. If you want to print a phone case, it can print it out for you. If you want to print a key holder, a souvenir, it can print it out for you. So we make this from scratch, buying things from Kumasi, and then we build it, as you can see, proudly made in Ghana. Yeah, and this is our name. We are called Clarks 3D. These things are quite expensive. And then with these programs like this, you get some funding to help you do these things. So for example, to build a machine like this, you need drill presses, you need mitre saws, you need jigsaws and all these things. Then they're expensive. Just a drill press costs about 2,500 Ghana cedis. I just graduated. I've not even started my national service. How can I buy a drill machine, buy a mitre saw, buy a jigsaw and all the welding machine? It's expensive. But these events, if they keep organizing it, it helps us as an entrepreneurs, innovators, to get like kind of seed funding to buy these machines so that we can do the things we do.
This is a game. This is a game that we made. This is a journey. It's a journey. You can see that there are some tree-like structures. It's like, so we took it like it's a forest journey. Yeah. So this is the starting point, and here is the ending point. So there are sensors inside, of which you have to pass through to earn some marks. So if you are not able to pass through all the senses, the marks you get is very low. So it depends on how fast you are, and there is a timing here for 90 seconds. So if you are not fast, then this door closes. That means your game is over and you've lost. Yeah. Challenges. Okay. Actually, we use wood, and looking at the size of this one, for us to cut this in the square shape, that's a challenge.
CEO of Ghana Investment Promotion Center, Yofi Grant, encouraged innovators in Africa to ensure their innovations are registered to prevent copyright issues.
A lot of innovation happening on the African continent is informal and is not captured in the formal economies. So they do not appear in front of investors unless the investors go look for them. But we at GIPC, just this morning, have asked that we actually put up a new Facebook page and a new Twitter account that would highlight innovations within our economy. I think that would be a great platform to showcase them, and I'll ask many of you to go out there and look out for these pages and these books. But beyond that is also the issue that we don't register our innovations. And I just got a little bit of statistics that I need to share with you that might trigger your interest a bit. In the Global Innovations Index by the World Intellectual Property Organization, the 3 best-ranked African countries are South Africa at number 57, Mauritius at number 64, and Kenya at number 80. South Africa, however, registered only 314 international patents. Kenya filed 11. In the same period, China filed 43,168. The USA filed 56,595. And Germany filed 18,315. So we still have a lot of work to do into absorbing the innovation on the continent into the global world. Until we can actually get them to register, they will miss out on a big pool of resources that the world offers. So even as you are creating stuff, please, 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 and I think that is where MESTI, the ministry, is very important. The ministry is important in ensuring that a lot of these have the necessary intellectual property rights attached to them, because that is how we would actually put them on the global stage.
We're taking this quick break, and when New Generation comes back, we'll tell you about the 6 months of the Akufo-Addo-led stewardship. We'll tell you more about it. Do stay.
Lonely Mr. also has a problem with his radio.
Mission time!
My big brother always stealing my cowbell coconut milk power cable. Check.
Circuit board, check. Hanger, cowbell, mug, check. Radio, check.
More flavors are better than one. Cowbell is fortified with protein, mineral, vitamin A, C, D, E, and K to help you complete the mission. Cowbell comes in coconut, strawberry, choco malt, and Mr. Owusu's favorite, mocha. There's something for everyone.
Mission accomplished!
Welcome back from the break. Remember, you can be part of our online family. Find us on Facebook at News Generation GH and on Twitter at NewsGenGH. I'll tell you why I'm smiling in a bit. But on the 18th of July 2017, journalists from a wide range of media houses were given the opportunity to question the first gentleman of the land on his first 6 months of stewardship. Information Minister Mustafa Hamid earlier told us that there would be no limitations to the issues the journalists can touch on, though the individuals will be limited to 1 question each. But if you had the chance to assess the president's performance, what would it be? You have been sharing your views with us on WhatsApp.
As for me, I think the government that Nana Akufo-Addo has brought is better than the previous one, because
As compared to the previous one, there are no frequent power outages and the water flows regularly. Again, fuel is always regular and there is no shortage of fuel. So I would like to encourage the president to keep it up, and he shouldn't let anyone discourage him from what he wants to achieve, let the country achieve.
President Nana Akufo-Addo has launched a National Entrepreneurship and Innovation Plan, that's the NEIP, to support the youth entrepreneurs in what they are doing, that's their business. And this plan is intended to support and to encourage the youth to come up with creative ideas, that is to develop and grow their business into enterprises.
I think the president has done very well in his 6 months of office because he has renovated and built schools in rural and remote parts of Ghana by supplying them with textbooks, school essentials such as stationery, chalk, etc. He has also constructed some roads to help people transport their goods and travel around the country.
I must commend the president for his aggressive campaign against corruption. I remember when I used to live in Takwa, when we used to open the tap, it was brownish, but now it has returned to its normal color because of his campaign against corruption. Also, I like his leadership skills. He being able to forfeit his political career in order to make sure that the Galamsey in the country is a good form of leadership.
I'm very pleased with the president that he's going to fulfill his promise about the free SHS with the 2017 batch. Even though I'm glad about it, I suggest that there should be people who supervise the SHS schools so that there will be no corruption.
The progress of Ghana has steadily been improved over the past 6 months under the leadership of President Nana Akufo-Addo. This is because of the bonds he has made with other countries. I must say that with this strategy, it's going to help the government achieve Nana Akufo-Addo's goals for the nations, such as the 1 district, 1 factory, 1 village, 1 dam, and the free SHS.
Interesting views there, but the director of private schools at the Ghana Education Service, Samuel Otopas, says he is worried about the growing trend of unregistered schools awarding students unaccredited certificates in the country. Speaking at the launch of GTech Computer Education in Accra, Mr. Otopa based his claims on the evidence of some of the certificates he has seen from some of these unaccredited schools. Irama Bimpong was at the event and has more.
According to Mr. Otopa Nto, the Ghana Education Service is battling with numerous instances where students have had to cancel their education at some point because the institution is not accredited. He cautioned the public to be on the lookout for such institutions and seek clarification from appropriate authorities when in doubt. He was speaking at the launch of the new academic program by Brilliant Brains Academy in collaboration with IT firm GTech, which aimed at providing students with quality ICT education.
We have, I would say, a lot of students have reported some schools that they attended and the certificates they have is not authentic. You can't even secure any job with it.
On his part, Indian High Commissioner Brinder Singh said government's flagship 1 district, 1 factory program is an initiative that requires a skilled workforce, hence the need to train the young generation now.
The emphasis of this institute is on imparting of skills, and as the flagship programs of Government of Ghana translate into reality, especially the 1 district, 1 factory, we expect that this institute would be able to contribute in terms of providing the skilled manpower when there would be a requirement.
Emmanuel Kote, a representative from the Accra Metropolitan Assembly, hinted the Assembly is considering programs that will bring together youth in the city with IT knowledge to harness and develop their skills and potential in IT.
We are intending to create a platform where we are able to nurture a lot of the talents of our youth in this part of town. You find a lot of them in internet cafes, a few of them sometimes go wayward. But if this institution is able to harness some of these untapped talents and bring them formal training, we are sure we'll be able to make much headway.
Irama Bimpong for News Generation.
There's more news in local news round.
Female cocoa farmers in Akpafu, a cocoa growing hub in the Hohoi municipality of the Volta region, have appealed to government to put in concerted efforts to make farm inputs available for farmers all year round. According to them, there has been perennial shortage of farm inputs in their area due to the huge number of residents who engage in cocoa farming. They further appealed to government to make special provisions for female farmers in accessing the farm inputs. President Akufo-Addo says his administration is working tirelessly to ensure the many allegations of corruption and financial malfeasance leveled against members of the previous government are tried. Speaking at his maiden media encounter at the Flagstaff House on Tuesday, he said already many of the cases are being worked on. He, however, said the cases would be sent to trial only after they have been established that there is enough evidence to prosecute the people involved. The president also said, although there has been a significant improvement in power supply, the country is still not where he envisages it to be in terms of energy. He reckoned the development has been a great threat to businesses and the cost of living in the country. Government has been advised to consider the use of natural control methods such as digging trenches around farms and the introduction of natural predators like birds and the planting of mixed crops to deal with the outbreak of fall armyworm infestation in the country. The use of biological methods, according to some experts who are gathered in Accra to discuss the way forward, is more effective to deal with the spread of the fall armyworm outbreak. Currently, an estimated 20,000 hectares of farmlands have been infected, up from about 1,400 hectares as of April this year. Farmers have made huge losses as a result of this. The agrochemicals are being distributed free of charge as government is treating the invasion as an emergency and a disaster. An entomologist with the Plant Protection and Regulatory Services Department of the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, Hannah Sewa-Nyama, says it is untrue that the chemicals are not effective enough. Sharing of knowledge and offering technical support to Ghana and 47 other African countries battling the outbreak is the focus of the three-day meeting. Recommendations from the meeting will be tested and adapted to local conditions across Africa via the Farmers' Field Schools and other forms of adaptive research.
Do you know who I am? Now, do you have a clue who I am? Don't ask me. You'll find out on Trending Video today.
What? How dare you bust my car? Oga, why are you shouting? Do you know me? Oh my goodness, who are you? You just see people and you start shouting, you think, who are you? Do you know who I am? Do you know me? Do you know me? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? Me? You're asking me who I am? You're asking me too who I am? No, who are you? Me, I am Mr. Chidi, okay. Really? My name is Mr. Philip Nwachukwu. Yeah. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Please, we're nobody. Let's not shout.
Trending video for the week. They're actually nobody, just bragging rights. Well, you can tell me what you've been bragging about on our social media platform across on Facebook and Twitter. So far, we've been doing well on Facebook, but Twitter followers, you have to up your game. You know what I'm saying? Find us on Facebook at News Generation GH and on Twitter at NewsGenGH. My name is Faustina Safo. To my production crew and every new member on the team, have a wonderful weekend as you enjoy the rest of our programs.
Supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.